Hello and welcome, and as I'm Raiden back yet again with another new topic of discussion. This time I figured I'd go ahead and give my final thoughts going into Hogwarts Legacy. We're about a week and a half away at this point in time. I, of course, do have it pre-ordered. I actually have it pre-ordered for the PlayStation 5. I could get it on PC and such, but every now and again I do like to get certain games as physical copies because, well, I still am I am a believer in getting physical copies, and this is one of those instances where I feel like I like to have it in my collection, so I'm getting it for that. But that's neither here nor there. But the main thing is that the game is already selling like cakes on both Steam and PlayStation. Regardless, this game is going to do absolute bank at this point, and so for the very few people out there who are actually trying to boycott this and thinking that's actually going to do anything is really quite absurd. J.K. Rowling herself really has no direct influence on the game itself. It's really the developers at this point. And even what money she would make off of this is really nothing in comparison to the 20 year plus that she has been making, but based off both the books and the movies themselves, as well as all the other merchandising. This is chump change compared to that. So if you really think that you're going to hurt her in any way, shape, or form, you're really just only kidding yourself. I mean, she does agree with the majority of the group that are actually upset with her. She is for you on many cases, but just because she says something that's really it's very much a fact. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And it really wasn't said in any heinous fashion whatsoever. I mean, many of people are actually acting like she assaulted somebody or something like that, which is far from the case at all. But the fact that any like 1% of an opinion really gets you bent out of shape that badly just goes to show. I mean, we see this time and time again as to how people react to the tiniest of little things, but this is one of those cases where it's so clear cut to where you really have to go out of your way to actually be offended by this, and it really just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And your spitefulness is actually increasing the sales of this game because, of course, many of people are actually buying the game just to spy you, even though they weren't going to buy it to begin with. Some people who are already going to buy the game are actually buying an extra copy because of that sort of thing. So it's really doing the complete opposite effect of what you intended in the first place. And again, she really has no direct influence on this game. It's the developer. So really, you're just harming them. All the people that worked hard on this game and this and that. And it's just absurd to try to cancel a video game like this. A game that's been 20 years in the making for a lot of people. They've been waiting for an experience like this where you can actually become your own Hogwarts student. You can actually immerse yourself into that world through your own journey. Now, on the flip side of that, of course, is down to the game itself. Will it actually deliver what people are anticipating? Now, I know even if it's anywhere near a disappointment, then they're just going to run with that, obviously, and just be like, ha, we told you this is what you get for trying to support this and that person. I'm just like, no, no, like that is beyond the scope at this point in time. But they'll grasp at straws like that. Surely they will. They'll nitpick anything and everything that they can. Hell, they pretty much got mad recently because of someone petting a cat in the game or some nonsense. I don't know anymore. It's just hard to keep track of it. Now, for me personally, I do think the game is actually going to be a pretty decent experience. I don't imagine like a cyberpunk type of scenario because even past the surface of a lot of the bugs that came out the gate with that game, underneath a lot of people still see the fact that once it's been cleaned up a bit, that the gameplay experience itself is very much there. Now that also leaves the question of the narrative experience. A lot of people, maybe even for Cyberpunk, felt that the narrative experience, the choice-based element of it all, may not be as in depth as what it may seem like. Now, as far as this, they say there's no real morality system, but how it's not to say that there isn't going to be a good bit of depth as far as your side quests and such like that. Now, are the side quests themselves going to be repetitive? Are they all going to be rather unique? How different are they from each house? And it's based on if you're more of a good wizard or bad wizard or witch or whatever. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. And that's really the biggest question about it because to me, again, I do feel like it's going to be overall a good, solid experience. It's just a matter of how in depth are they going with the game itself. That is the biggest question there. And so, yeah, I'm still looking forward to the game. I mean, as a gamer, as a Harry Potter fan, I mean, I'm not the most hardcore of Harry Potter fans, but I obviously grew up on the books. I've seen all the films in theaters as they were released, with the exception of Fantastic Beasts. I really had no interest in that from the jump, especially now you look at where that whole trilogy went. It's just like, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't waste my time with that. But yeah, the game itself, I am very much interested in seeing where it goes. I know it's just people are going to be streaming the hell out of it. Despite what some people want from others, it's not going to happen. The game is already too big of a hit. No matter what, it's making its money, and whatever money that Rowling makes from of it is not gonna be that big of a difference in her life whatsoever. She has all the money in the world at this point. That changes next to nothing at this point in time. So you can try and do what you please, but and I mean you're welcome to live your own life, but you cannot demand others to bend to your will every which way just because you feel slighted or you yourself are getting far too emotional about something that's really not worth getting that emotional over. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Let me know what you think of Hogwarts Legacy. Are you anticipating it? What's your house, this and that? Whatever have you, do what you please. No one watches this anyway. Anyway, I am Iron Raiden, and I am out.